What's going on, guys? James here. How are you all doing? Welcome to the first actual proper video on Hoops and All on the YouTube page. Probably a lot of you come from TikTok or have seen the TikTok before, but welcome to the first official video on YouTube. The rebrand, but the rerun of the new style of content I want to be bringing to YouTube. So welcome. Hopefully everyone's good. Strap yourselves in. It's going to be a long season and hopefully one we can cheer about. But we're QPR fans, so let's not get ahead of ourselves. So, in today's video, we will be reviewing the Carabao Cup game we've just seen and witnessed about 2 hours ago from ourselves and Millwall. I don't really know what to say about it. I mean, I've seen a lot of meltdown, should I say, on Twitter about, we couldn't score, we missed 4 penalties, it wasn't the best Millwall squad. However, you have to have a look at Milwall might be missing a few key players, right? They're missing Kramer, missing Ivanovic, missing another guy, I remember them saying. But in my opinion, if Charles didn't get unlucky and drop that ball and spill it straight to Kundal, they wouldn't have scored. Didn't really look like a threat. Yes, they were getting forward, but they weren't really getting many shots on our goal that weren't straight to Charles, shall we say. I thought the first 35 minutes of the game, I thought we were actually been quite good. So let's start from the first half, shall we say, and work our way chronologically through the game. So I thought we actually started off quite brightly, like Fiorentina, keeping a lot of the ball, passing out from the back. Charles, obviously, like always, has been very on the forefront of the ball, shall we say, stepping out of his box, getting between Dunn and Edwards. The one thing I was a bit negative about was the fact that they were using him quite a lot, other than Madsen. But you can see straight away from Stefan's sort of the way he wants his goalie to play, was sort of spraying the ball about out to him, Benge and Kemper very well, and even up to Kone, trying to use him as a target man. But from the first half, I thought we played quite well. I thought in spells, in the first 30 minutes, I thought we were quite dominant. I thought we were quite assertive with the player. We wanted to go. Chair should have scored quite a few. The first one that he had led to a corner. He should have scored, but unfortunately got deflected. But in the first half, I thought it was actually quite good. It's typical QPR notion that we did go 25-30 minutes on high press, energy, winning the ball, winning free kicks. Seamers play on the front foot, dominating them a bit more, having more of the ball. And then in football, like you say, a tale or two halves. In the second half, they started to get really back into it for the half-time break. But I thought there were good things. I thought they were passing through the lines from Charles to Madsen to Vale. Just couldn't get the final pass right today, I thought, in certain parts of the game. I thought set pieces were a bit off. Obviously, there was had a couple in the second half. We scored from one. Kemper had a good header. Apart from that, Vale and Chair's crosses today were quite poor. Didn't manage to beat the first man at many occasions, shall we say. I think Vale had a free kick where it was like 40, 50 yards out in our own half. And he just hit the first man. He's got everybody in the back post. And you think, since it's a set piece, coach being brought in, you think they'd sort of be a bit better than that. Obviously, that doesn't affect the way he whips the ball in, but I would like to say that probably would have helped him and got a good idea of where he needs to put the ball. We just seem to lack, like always, that final third quality. I think once we get Poku fit and Saito fit on the left and right hand side, I think that would change how we play. I think we're more dynamic. We can have one-on-one duels. We can try and win the ball up a little bit higher, hopefully. Obviously, Smith's good at that. I just don't think we can go forward with Smith being our first winger, shall we say. But I don't knock Smith. I think he does well. I think he does well at what Smith's good at. Every QPR fan knows what Smith is good at, and we all love him for that. So it is what it is. I think I like Stefan's front forward approach of playing Madsen and Vale and Chair. I thought it was good, but I just think, Madsen being deeper, I prefer Madsen trying to get higher, like when he played against Coventry, like last season, shall we say. If there's a deep midfielder that can play that role, and he can free Madsen up, I think that would be better for him because he can actually run forward with the ball and actually split defences open, and then that leaves us only able to have 110. I don't think we need Vale and Chair playing. They're not near enough each other, just like Willock and Chair were back in the day of Warburton and Beale. I don't think them two really work together closely. Vale's always on the right, Chair's always on the left. They don't really, because they're midfielders and they're not attacking midfielders, they can't really roam and link up with each other. I don't like Burrell as a winger, personally. I don't think Burrell's a winger. I thought he struggled with trying to have one-on-one duels. I thought he struggled with crossing, even setting an overlap. It isn't his natural game. His natural game is counter-attacking on the last man, a poacher in the box. So I don't think Burrell should be forced to play out wide if we want Kone to be a 9. We either play a 4-4-2, needs to get that set, or we play a 4-3-3 and heavily rely on our wingers to keep fitness up. When it comes to December, we've got 3 games a week. Don't think I would like to see Burrell as a winger. I'd rather him be on the bench to come on as a sub, as a striker. Because Lloyd and Burrell really, in my eyes, are sort of the same profile. Obviously, Burrell will score more goals for you, but they're both fast. They'll both sort of track their men. They'll both bust their gut for the ball. So I don't think you need both of them profiles in the wing. I think Lloyd would be better on the wing, something like an Armstrong would, but I don't think I want to see Burrell on the wing anymore. So, I know, obviously, I'll talk about the result first of all. I do apologise. It was 1-1. Obviously, the penalties are going to be scapegoated. I think they were awful penalties. Don't get me wrong. They were very, very bad penalties. But penalty shootouts, QPR, we've never been good at penalty shootouts. We've only ever won one in my lifetime, and that was when we beat Everton in the Carabao Cup. Lost to Sunderland before, all over the bar. Goalie just seemed to go the same way the whole time. I don't know why they didn't change. Kept going the same way. Goalie saved them. They weren't very... I think the only penalty we probably had that was one that was a good save from him, in my opinion, was probably Vale's. Pocky's penalty was bad. Sart's penalty was bad. Cher's just not good penalties at all, to be honest. So his one was saved. And Charles made up for himself, made some good penalty saves. So I don't think people need to get on Charles's back. I actually think Charles played a very, very good game. I will just hopefully, fingers crossed, he's good with his hands as good as he is with his feet, because you can't keep having goalies that can play with their feet and not save balls or save shots and stuff like that. He obviously made some decent saves, but nothing out of the ordinary, and then he drops that clanger, so hopefully it doesn't affect his confidence. And I don't think Mill really played well. I see a lot of people online, like I was saying, having a meltdown. I don't think it was as bad as what you think. I think, if anything, Mill fans probably a bit more worried than what we were. Yes, it weren't their full-strength team, but they come third last season, whereas we come 15th. And they seem to struggle a lot more than us. If they didn't get that chance where Charles dropped it, they wouldn't have scored, in my opinion. And they weren't sort of there. I don't think many players in that game were 100% fit. Hopefully Tariq Lamptey and Saito and Poku can all fit into the team. So I think that will be our strongest team once they're fit. Depending on if they bring in another midfielder or a winger, don't know what's going to happen in the transfer window. There's always stuff that can happen in the future. But yeah, I don't think it was as bad as what people thought. I thought, like I say, we played well in the first 35 minutes. Thought it was quick on the front foot. We always seem to have that struggle in most seasons where we don't get up to speed until September, maybe even sort of at the start of October. But I thought we were good. I thought we were quick like we were in pre-season. I thought we were pressing from the front. And if you're pressing harshly for 25, 30 minutes, you're going to naturally drop off, which is why then I think we sit for the last 10 minutes of the first half, which you have to manage it, of course. Depends what teams you're playing. You know, you can't just sit and let them just brutally attack you, because if you can't defend, like most years we can't, we will concede goals. Like we always seem to concede goals just for half time when teams get corners or shots from outside the box, which is one thing I think we've got to really focus on this year, which I don't think Millwall did have many shots from outside the box, is that we need to stop that shot coming in. How many times did we have, i.e. Wrexham last year, you know, so many games we had last year where people were shooting from outside the box and creating goals from it, because we just don't get out to defenders quicker. Defenders don't get out to defenders don't get out to other person's attackers quicker, shall I say, Jesus. Which is something I think we've always sort of lacked, with that tenacity to get out to someone and close the ball down quickly. I haven't really always had them. Well, we've had them profiles, but it just hasn't happened, you know. But hopefully we can take that out of our game going into this season. But yeah, I don't think we need to overreact like most people are saying. We never get through in the cup anyway, so now we can focus on the league now, before the league's even started. We've got Portsmouth next week. Obviously started strongly against West Ham, fell off. So, I mean, that West Ham team is ridiculous. But yeah, I think we'll be okay. I think the team that started today won't start against Portsmouth. I think maybe Kamara may start, or even I think Varane will start, and I think Kamara may make the bench. I don't think we're going to be playing a 4-3-3 like that away from home. If you're very brave, if it does and it works, then great. I just naturally can't see Stefan picking that 4-3-3 like that. I think if you're going to fit Kone and Burrell in, it needs to be a 4-4-2, and maybe Vale off the right with maybe Smith or Saito on the left. I don't think you can be having Burrell out on the wing, like I keep saying. But let me know what you guys thought about today's game. First video out on the channel, so hopefully you guys all enjoy. Thank you all for watching. There'll be plenty more to come. There won't be one next week at Portsmouth because I am away, but I'll be posting my match reaction and preview out on the TikTok. I'll leave all links down below. But yes, let me know what you guys thought about the game. Let me know what you think about the season going ahead. Hopefully we can play like that next week, but come away with a few goals, because we always seem to struggle to come out with legit goals. And yeah, we lacked a little bit up front today, like we always have in previous seasons. Hopefully, that's just a teething issue, and it's just fitness as well because it's the first game. We've had a good pre-season, and what would be QPR if we didn't have a good pre-season and a bit of a shit start to the season? So, yes, thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one against Bolton. Peace.